Hi everyone, welcome to today's sketchbook exercise where we're going to take inspiration from the month of May and the spring season to paint some pastel roses. I'm diving in with these Viviva spring pan set, specifically the cinnamon color, and I'm watering it down quite a bit on the palette before applying the pigment to the page. As you can see, I'm squeezing a lot of water from the brush and making sure that the first layer is light and transparent. Flowering plants tend to have blooms of different shapes and sizes. Vary the sizes. Some of them can be smaller, some of them can be a little medium size, and others can be larger. Now, to add a darker center to these circles, I'm going in directly with the pigment from the pan and draw C's in the middle of the circle. If it's a small circle, you don't even have to do this. You can just add a drop of the concentrated pigment directly into the center. But for the bigger circles, it's good to draw C's in different directions. Sometimes the paper is still wet and there might be blooms. Now I'm using the cocktail pink color to create a secondary set of roses. Here I'm just replicating the same steps from the previous circles that we created. I'm also making sure to stagger these circles on the white spaces that's left on the page. Once you're satisfied with the amount of roses on the page right now, then go into the Crimson Lake shade, which, when diluted, is a very beautiful, vibrant pink. And I'm adding these to the center of the pink flowers, the ones that I created with the cocktail pink mixture. I thought it might also be fun to add the Crimson Lake shade to the cinnamon color and go back into the first layer of roses that we created to add just a little bit of variation. Now that I'm happy with what I have on the page, I'm quickly cleaning my brush and also my palette. I'm just spraying it down with a little bit of water, using an old paper towel and cleaning up the page. I'm also giving the watercolors a little bit of a spritz of water. Now I'm going into the yellow green shade and again diluting it quite a lot just by squeezing the water brush. And I'm using this to create some leaves on the page. Leaves are fairly easy to paint. You need to press, drag, and lift your brush. You press it so that the brush is flat on the page, Drag it to the size of the leaf that you want to create, and then lift it at the end to create a tapered edge. I will be adding at least a couple of leaves to every flower that's on the page. I'm starting out with this light mixture and I'm hoping to build on this and add more greenery in secondary and third layers. Make sure to vary the sizes of the leaves. This gives the illusion of a dense rose bush foliage. To darken the yellow-green mixture, I'm adding a little bit of the olive green to create a more deeper color. And I'm going ahead and using this mixture to add more depth to the leaves. Add this color at the point where the leaves connect to the flowers. If the leaves that you've painted are still wet, then you're going to see more of this color disperse into the rest of the leaf. However, I also had certain dry areas in my painting, and the paint did not disperse as much as I hoped it would. But that's all right. Because I want to create a more vibrant shade of green, I'm going into the permanent green and adding that to the mixture that I already have created on the palette. I'm using these to the existing leaves to add more dimension, but I'm also going to be creating some fresh leaves using this vibrant green. Wherever I see a white space in the paper, I am going in with a little bit of the green to add a touch of foliage there. It just makes the painting look a lot more fuller, a lot more deliberate. Now, I wanted to create a more deeper version of the green, more natural green. And when you add red to green, it feels a lot more like the greens that you see in real life. However, I added a little bit too much of the crimson lake, which created a muddy shade. But I didn't want to waste the color, so I created a separate puddle with the permanent green mixture. I added a touch of the yellow green and just a smidge of the brown that I had created previously. This deepens the green to a shade that you are more likely to find in nature. I'm using this to create the veins on the leaves. Now it's time to add a third layer of paint to the roses. I am going in with a more saturated version of the paint that I had used before to add more petals to these roses. I'm doing the exact same motion as I did previously and drawing C's on the page. I'm also darkening up the center wherever I see the flowers are looking a little too flat. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed painting these flowers. If you followed along with me, I would love to see your creations as well. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more beginner friendly tutorials, check out this playlist below. Happy painting!